Stop overcomplicating business. Here is how we made 857 euros in just 1.5 weeks without any expensive marketing or a website. It all started because of my sister. She had a small perfume business and I was one of her customers. I really liked the fragrances and my friends too, so I only bought for myself and for my friends. But then word spread at school and at work and more people actually wanted to buy. But I wasn't making anything from it. It was just from my sister, but I was, let's say, the middleman. But I wasn't earning anything from it. But at the end of the day, it came too much work because too many people were coming through me. So I eventually stopped selling the perfumes, but I still bought it for myself. But then, not so long ago, my sister moved back to Italy. And she said to me, why don't you take over the business since most of the customers that came from me were actually through you? So I actually thought about that. And then I let her explain me where they did buy the perfumes, how could I contacted the supplier and all the information and what was the markup. Once she gave me the information, I immediately started taking action on this wonderful opportunity. One of the reasons we did so well on the pre-launch is because the product already sells itself. This isn't a cheap knockoff from other big brands. I think this is truly the better alternative. They match the real designer brands, but they're stronger and longer lasting. As I mentioned earlier, our perfumes aren't just a cheap alternative. I believe they are the better alternative because they are made with 100% alcohol and 30% perfume oil. That is the strongest, longest lasting, most luxurious blend what you can get. Like, you can't get any better than this. Like, if you look at most of the big brands, they water down the fragrance so they can cut the production costs, so they can mark up even more. Fun fact, so just you know it, a normal markup for a big brand is between 200 and 500%. Let that sink in and just think about that when you're spending 150 euro plus on a fragrance. That being said, from us, you don't pay for a big name or for a fancy marketing. You just pay for the quality, for what is inside the bottle. Now that you know a little bit of the backstory and how we started and what the product is, let's now talk about sale. How did we secure our first sale? First of all, when I began this, I immediately called a friend who was also a past buyer and I told them about the opportunity. I pitched him the idea of reselling together since we were the only one reselling this product in our area. The product quality is insane and we have no real competition. He immediately saw the value in it and saw the opportunity and also joined me and took action. And a good thing is, in his first few days, he already did sell 350 euros worth of stock, which was really good. At the same time, I reconnected with past buyers and people that I already knew. Instead of pushing the sales and being very salesy, I just said that I took over the business from my sister and that I was placing a big order. And that if they would be in that order, they would get either free shipping or a 2+1 deal. And I offered that in order to give them sort of urgency in order to buy something fast. And it is good for them and good for me. So that is the way I closed the deal and how I got my first sales. In the meantime, I bought myself this thing, which is actually a sample kit with all the perfumes that I have. So I posted it on my Instagram story. I began to post that I took over the business from my sister, some content about perfumes, some people that have ordered, and it sparked interest in people. So I got a lot of people actually DMing me about the perfumes. So what did I do? I invited them to my home or to my brother's restaurant. I let them smell the perfumes and boom, the sale was made. Like, people come here, as I said, the product sells itself. Like, they can smell the perfumes and if they like it, they buy it because it's so cheap, you can't help but buy it. Like, why did you come otherwise in the first place? But it didn't just present the perfumes, I just educated myself also on perfumes. Like, let's say, like, people like fresh fragrances. I began to ask questions. Like, I did it like a good salesman would do. Just ask questions and give them perfume based on their needs. Like, people who like fresh fragrance, I gave them Acqua di Gio, Dolce Gabbana Le Blu. Are you looking for something from the summer? Then I gave them like, yo, you can smell this one, like Erba Pura or Mega Mare, like some fragrance. Because I educated myself. I already knew something about fragrance because I watched a lot of content from Jen Sands and Jeremy Fragrance, all those icons. So by educating myself, I also provided value by guiding them. And guiding them, it's not only good for them so they have a right choice, but I also guided the sales. Doing this, everybody spent at least 87 euros. Nobody spent less. I only got one person who didn't buy anything and that's it. The rest was more than 87 euros, which is crazy. As you can hear, it sounds pretty simple, but I made it even more simple by going step by step because I wanted to make a duplicatable system which I can pass on to my resellers so they can make far more easier the first sales. Like, I'm also looking out for more and more resellers so I can increase the sale of the company. But of course, not everybody has sales experience, and even though if you don't have sales experience, this is a great opportunity for you to learn about selling and also to make some money of it, because I wanted to make as easy as possible for my reseller. The more easy it is the system to follow, the more people will actually be able to get results, and the more result other people get, the more result I get, because the company sales just grow. So I made it very easy for you. Step number 1, identify potential buyers. Write down at least 10 people, friends, family, colleagues, who might buy just because it is you that you're offering them. Step 2, approach indirectly. Instead of direct selling, spark curiosity in people. Here is some approaches that I do. Number 1, the soft approach. Hey, I started a perfume business. The quality is amazing. Before I fully launch, I would love your opinion. Would you want to try them? Or even a softer approach, that is what I do the most. you just check in with people. You ask, hey, how are you? What do you do at the moment? Do you work? Or if you know them very well, then just ask, how are you? If they're nice people, they're probably gonna ask you the same questions back. And once they ask you the same question back, you just tell about your business. Step 3 is, once they have given you the chance to talk about your perfume business, highlight what set our perfumes apart. I always say, same DNA as designer brands, but just stronger. They are made with 100% alcohol and 30% perfume oil. They are pure extract de parfum, the highest concentration what you can get. And you don't pay for big brand markups, you're paying for quality and not the logo. Then step 4, let them experience the scents. Use testers so they can experience the quality firsthand. Ask about the favorite scents, what they like, fresh, fruity, to recommend the best options. Use knowledge from research to suggest the best smelling and most popular scents for them, and what suits them. Then step 5, engage naturally. Comment on Instagram stories, reply to likes, or chat casually. Let them know about your business or give them a promotion when the time feels right. The last step, step number 6, creating urgency to close the deal. To encourage decision, introduce time-sensitive offers, like limited time deals. I have a 2+1 offer, but it ends in next days. Or exclusive offers. I'm placing a bulk order soon. Order now for free shipping. These strategies to close the deal are very important, because otherwise you would have people to say, yes, I'm going to check it sometime, or yeah, one day I'm going to check it, or yes, I will let you know, but you don't want that. You want to close the deal whenever you want. So give this type of offers and next days so people buy when you want them to buy. So this is the strategy what we use in order to pull such a good pre-launch, and also the strategy what I teach to my reseller in order to sell even more. And it's very important also for yourself and for your business, if you're selling a product or a service, that you actually got yourself resellers, because I wouldn't have to be able to pull such numbers if I wouldn't have one reseller which did an order of 350 euros. Otherwise I would make less. So I'm also looking always for expanding the resellers, because the more resellers that you have, the more product you're going to sell. And even though you're not making as much profit as if you did from your own, you cannot get to everybody. Like, you can use person in order to get more people in. You cannot contact everybody because you don't know everybody, but the other person knows other people. So it's a bigger exposure what you can get for your brand. And it's very important that you also let your people win and train them, because the better they do, the better results you also will get. That being said, even though 857 euros sounds like a lot of money, and it was also a good pre-launch, at least to me, it is like a very good pre-launch. Like, you can find YouTube videos where 12-year-olds make that in a day. I personally don't care. Like, I make content which is very relatable for people like you and me, just for normal people. It's not from everybody pulling something that great off, and you should be proud for the results that you're making, even if it is not that much, but it is an improvement compared to what you did before. Then it is always something good that needs to be celebrated. But well, of course, even though 857 euros is a great number, that is not the profit. Although we make 50% of profit, and that would mean that if we sold 857 euros, that we also would have 857 euros as profit. But some went to these kits. Like, my resellers also need a kit like this, and yes, they bought it, and then I get also a small commission on that, because you also get paid based on volume what you sell, but it's a very little commission because of that. And we also needed to do some promotion in order to close some deals, which is totally fine. But even after these expensive, we made a good profit out of that. And it was absolutely a great decision, because a lot of people bought actually the perfume also in good amounts. And especially if you're starting a company, I feel the most important thing is not the profit that you're going to make, but selling as much as possible, and then resell to the customers that are already known of the quality, they're already aware of the quality that the product that you're selling. These are the most simple customer to resell. So I think we did a pretty good job, and I'm proud. You don't have to make 10,000 euros in one day like those YouTube videos. Hope you have learned something from this video, not only because of my strategy, how I do the selling and how I started this, but more also as an inspirational wise. Like, I'm just a normal guy, and as you can see, you don't have to have this big website to spend all this money on ads or marketing in order to grow. As you can see, even using just a simple your network, just optimizing your network, can already get you a good good first step in business, and make sure that you also get your first profit. And this one is really the golden nugget. Overcome the fear of selling. Overcoming the fear of selling will make sure that you're not only going to last in business, but actually make a good start. Because I see a lot of people doing their research and starting the business, but they just do not have the balls to tell people. They just do no marketing. And they think because they post 1 or 2 bullshit reels with 20 views, so that they're going to get customer out of it. And it's very difficult that you would get customers that are foreign people, that you actually don't know them. And especially because the first content that you're going to post is shit, you're not getting a lot of views, and people don't trust you just completely. Like, they have 1,000 reasons because they are never going to buy from you, because they don't trust you and you don't have the credibility. And it's not easy to build that credibility to other people. That's exactly why you need to optimize your network. By optimizing your network, you're not going to get your first steps in business and getting your first reviews and talking about the people it is also the word is going to spread, and it's far more easier and almost immediate result. Like, of course, you need to post the good marketing stuff and make sure that you're to expand outside of your network, but your network is the one that's going to get the first step started. Nobody is going to see, or nobody is going to buy from someone who makes just an Instagram account, makes 2 shitty videos with 20 views. Nobody of the 20 people will buy, because your content is shit. They don't know your product. You can't probably sell it well, and you have no credibility. Well, if you sell to your network, you have somehow some credibility, and people can test the perfume. So it's just so much easier, and it's really the most important thing with starting a business. You need to overcome this fear of selling. Most people don't have the ball, which it doesn't even make any sense. Like, some people feel some shame or guilt about it. But put it like this, if you have done your research right, you would have a good product. Like, if you are not, like, if you are very confident about your product, like, you know that it's bettering people's lives or just improving something in people's lives that is very good to have, then why wouldn't you just tell that to people? Like, when I'm selling my perfumes, when I'm talking about my perfumes, I have the conviction that if this person is not going to buy, then it's fucking retarded. Or it can be either two things. One, he doesn't trust me or like me. Two, he doesn't understand what I'm saying about the perfumes or how it does work. 3 is just retarded. That's just the conviction that I have, because I just believe that everybody should have my product. And if you have a good product, then it will be very spontaneous for you to just sell the product, because you know this is bettering people's life. If you have a good product, selling is not something bad that you do, but it's just a service that you're providing to people. Like, I am making sure that people will spend a lot less money on fragrances so they can spend on other more important stuff, but still enjoy a good fragrance, and on top of that, even smell longer, smell better, so that they have a lot more confidence. So really start looking sales as something bad. Stop feeling ashamed about it, because it's the best thing what you have, and no business ever will become great, will eventually live even, without sales. That being said, I wish you the best. I hope you have got some valuable information, and I think you probably will have. And if you want to work together or just want to network with me, just send me a message. We can always talk. And I'm quite curious, of course, to know about your business. And even if you're looking for a business or make some experience, or you don't know what you want to do, but you want to step a foot in entrepreneurship, send me a DM. Maybe we could talk about possibly working together.